Hi everyone, hope you're having a great day today. I'm Lisa Kester with Wild Acorns Pottery / Studio. Yeah, my channel's Wild Acorns Pottery. Wild Acorns Art Studio. I changed it from Wild Acorns Pottery because, as you know, if you've been watching some of my videos, I've been kind of doing some other artwork also now. You know, when you're creative, you do more than just one thing, right? You have a love of a lot of different types of media, and there's just so much stuff out there to inspire you. But anyway, so today, I thought I'd share this technique. It's called it's sodium silicate, and this company, I don't know if you remember Pasler ceramics. I did a video kind of demonstrating one of their it was a latex, if you remember that, it's their latex product, which is really nice because you could paint it on your pottery, and then if you didn't like it or if you splashed it, you could peel it right back off, rather than wax. With the wax, you have to put it back in the bisque kiln and basically re-bisque the piece before you glaze it, because once wax is on a bisque piece, it's darn near impossible to get off unless, you know, you maybe you could sand it, sand it down a little bit. But anyways, so I did that for them, and then I guess they saw me do their pencils. I did their underglaze pencils, which I bought on my own. You know, underglaze pencils are so expensive. They're like, jeez, I think when I looked the last time, they were $14 to $16 a piece for a pencil. And Paslers were like half that price. So if you're looking for underglaze pencils for your work, they work really well. So anyway, so they sent me this. They sent me, it's called sodium silicate. And it's just another new, I shouldn't say new, but really a neat texture to add to your pots. You know, if you've been throwing for a long time, you know, you might get tired of doing the same thing over and over again. And so I'm going to demonstrate this. They sent this to me and asked me to do a video on it. So I thought I would share and show you how it works. I took this bottle into one of my classrooms, and the students, a lot of them tried it. They loved it. So when I'm done doing this video, I'm going to take it back to class with me and let them all use it, because a lot of them just love the texture. So anyway, so that's Pasler's sodium silicate if you're looking for it. I think you could probably Google Pasler's ceramics or Pasler ceramics. You could probably check Amazon, but I'm sure most clay suppliers would probably carry it. Any sodium silicate will work, but their stuff's a little bit less expensive, which is nice. You know how expensive these everything's getting with pottery. So let me lower you down here. You can tell I'm out in my greenhouse today where my wheel's at. I can't always come out here when it's really, really cold, but we got a warm day today. In fact, I was going to do this video earlier, and it was so nice and warm outside, I decided to sit outside for a little bit, get some sun. I think you can see okay there. I don't know. It's kind of, I should have moved this back a little bit. Okay, so I just cut this chunk off of my clay, and I don't wedge when it's when it's coming out of a new box of clay. I just kind of cut off a chunk and put it in a ball like that, and then I wedge it on the wheel. So let me get this wet here a little bit. And I will add on to the end of this video when I bisque it and I fire it. I'll show you the glazed piece. Okay. Let's get it centered. Out here in the greenhouse, I have to check my wheel periodically because we get, I don't know if it's mice or if it's chipmunks, but they get up in my wheel and build a nest. And then the whole inside where the motor is filled with nesting material. It's sealed pretty tight, but I have a little gap over on the other side here for the hose to come in and out. So now I'm just coning it up and down a little bit, and this is basically how I wedge it. It's basically wedging it on the wheel. Now I'm going to focus on centering it, which I'm just basically pushing in and then pushing down, and then I'm going to hold it and just remember to slowly release. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to push it in a little bit. I'm going to get rid of this little apron here. Some people like to leave that on, but I think if it's off a little bit, it's going to move your hand around and make it a little bit more difficult to center. I really don't have a problem centering, except when the clay's hard. When the clay's hard, it really hurts my hands to center. This clay's not too bad. It's pretty, I think that's pretty good. Alright, so I'm going to open it up. Then I use my middle finger and my thumb together. And I'm going down at an angle here. Just till I think I've got a good place at the bottom. I'm going to put that slip back on there because that slip's really good to make it slimy. So I'm going to check the thickness of the bottom. Yeah, and I'd say that's perfect. I don't like the bottoms too thin. I'm going to fill that up. And then I'm going to pull the wall out. I don't like the bottoms too thin because, you know, if you want to put any kind of a foot on the bottom, you're not going to be able to if you throw a really thin bottom. Okay. Now if you've thrown it off at all by pulling the wall out, just kind of, you can just bring your hands in like that and collar it in, hold it until it settles down and just recenter it. So now I'm going to compress the bottom. Now you're not really compressing the clay. You're compressing the clay, but you're not really compressing it as a unit. You're just basically getting the air bubbles out. Shouldn't be any air bubbles in there, but just in case. Okay, and I'm going to pull my wall. So with the sodium silicate, it works best when you are going to have a bulbous piece, a bowed out piece. So I like to throw with a sponge. These round ones, I'm not sure these are the best little sponges to throw with. I can't remember who this is. You guys will probably know. I don't think it's Mud Tools. I think they're the long oval ones. Might be Dirty Girls. Anyway, so To pull a wall, I always have my hands touching and my elbows locked to my side. And I'm pulling towards the center of the piece so that you don't end up with a bowl. I don't want to end up with a bowl. And you want to leave your piece somewhat thick on the outside. You want to leave the walls somewhat thick because you're going to bow it out. Kind of drying out on the inside here. Now I'm going to compress my rim. By compressing your rim, and you have a nice thick strong rim, it helps keep your walls and your piece centered. It's really important to do that. I see so many people pulling up and then the lip is so thin, and then they end up losing the piece. So I'm just going to do one more pull because, like I said, I don't want these walls to be too thin when I bow them out. That's pretty good. I want to make this rim a little bit thinner though. Just a little bit. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to clean the slip off of the outside. Okay? It won't work if you've got a bunch of slip on there. Okay, so now comes the fun part. I'm going to clean this bottom out because I may not be able to get back down in there to dry that out. I feel like I could do another pull. It's really thick down here at the bottom. I didn't do a very good job. Let me do one more pull from the bottom. I'm talking and I'm going to dig my finger in here at the bottom a little bit because I want to get some of that weight up from the bottom. So I dug my finger in order to help me push that weight up. It's a lot harder to get the weight up from the bottom. Ah, that came off. If you wait and you wait till the walls are high. It's easier to do that from the very beginning, but at least I don't have a thick spot there. Okay. Did you see that stink bug crawling on me? I saw that stink bug crawling up. It was distracting me. We got stink bugs all over here. I have 3 huge oak trees outside. So I'm basically cleaning off this wall again. Yeah, we got 3 big oak trees outside, and gosh, I guess they just love that. Okay. Dry my hands off here a little bit. So I put some of the sodium silicate in a bowl. You don't want to water it down or anything, okay? Now, I am going to put some water on my wheel, on my bat, because when it dries, actually I'll probably just clean it off before I put the heat gun to it. The sodium silicate will dry on your bat like glue. and it's a little difficult to get off. So make sure you clean it off the bat before you take your heat gun, or you can use a blow dryer to it. Now you want to be generous with it. The thicker the sodium silicate is, the bigger the cracks. So if you want a more subtle cracking, you might want to put it on a little bit thinner. Also, you don't want to dry it too long. You want to dry it just till it gets tacky. If it gets really, really hard, then the cracks will be deeper. So, okay, so now I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to wash that off. Because it's really hard to get off your bat. It's kind of like Elmer's glue. It's not impossible, but... Okay, so now, got my heat gun. So I have a diffuser on the end of it, so it's not coming out. Looks like somebody got it too close. I was letting the students at Dunham borrow this to dry their sodium silicate pots. I think what I'll have to do is probably take in an old blow dryer, let them use that. So I don't want to leave my heat gun there. The heat gun's nice for drying acrylic on your paintings, you know, so you can move forward faster, like yesterday. So you saw, okay, see how, I think it's ready. So you can kind of see the shine a little bit longer. When the gloss goes away, you know, when the shine's gone, it becomes more of a satin. That's how you kind of know that it's pretty dry. And like I said, you just want it tacky. Try it. It's getting there. It's probably, see now this side feels a little wetter. It really doesn't take very long. Okay, let's try it. So that was about a couple minutes, maybe. Now the hardest part is remembering not to touch the outside anymore. So what I do is, let me make sure the inside's, gotta wet it down again a little bit. I dried it out a little bit too much. Okay. So, because I can't touch the outside, I'm going to just put my hand up here in the top, and that helps guide me. I'm going to go about medium speed. The hardest part is not touching the outside. I don't know how. I'm throwing it off round a little bit here, but so it's not. I think I may not have let it dry enough. I'll have to. Yeah, it's getting some. Just can't touch it. That's the hardest part, is not touching it. Okay, I'm going to clean up the inside here a little bit. Get that water out of there. I'm gonna put a little decorative line here, a couple lines. Just kind of clean those up a little bit before I wire it off. There we go. Let me wire that off and I'll show it to you. So can you see that? Oh, I forgot to clean the bottom up. See, I get talking and then I forget. I like to clean this apron up before I take it off, but I can do that when I trim it. So can you see the cracks? Let's do another one, huh? Must have, what did I get on there? Oh, I got some brown clay on there. That's the hardest part when you use a couple different color clays. Nah. Well, that's all right. I'm gonna probably put a copper wash on here to really accentuate the cracks in here. And then I'll wipe it back. I believe it's Mako's copper wash. Where it's thick, it turns almost like a metallic. Okay, let's do another one. Oh, look, I got it all. I got the dark. I don't know where I got that all from. Probably off the bat. I clean them, but not very well. Yeah, you can see this bat. It's got dark all over it from all my dark 266. But I've decided not to use the 266 anymore here at the house because it's just so dirty. It's just so dirty. Gosh. You know, that's one thing that I think I've talked about this before, but when I first got into pottery, no one, you know, even my teacher where I took it from, no one ever told me how dangerous it is to breathe in when it's dry. Clay has silica in it, which is tiny shards of glass. You don't want to sand. You don't want to sand it when it's dry. and you don't want to breathe in the dust. That's why you should never have cloth on your wedging table, because as much as you try to clean it, it will have clay dust in it. I used to have a canvas covered tablecloth, and I wiped it down and wiped it down, and it's impossible to get it completely clean where it's not going to throw up the clay particles and the clay dust while you're wedging, and then you're breathing that in, and it's got those silica, those tiny particles of glass in it. And once you get that silica in your lungs, it never comes out. You can never get rid of it. It's called silicosis. So it's nothing to really be, you know, petrified of, but it's just something to think about. And so that's why I try to keep my studio that's in my house as clean as possible. But if I were to do it over again, I would never have put my studio in my house. I change my furnace filters every month. But yeah, I would never put it in my house. All three of my dogs have had asthma. I hope the cats won't be affected by it, but you know, beings that are much smaller than us, it's going to affect your animals more than a human. But it'll, you know, it'll affect the humans too. But and glazes are the same way. Never want to breathe in a dry glaze. Same thing. They have particles of glass in them. Okay. That's really getting off, isn't it? When they get really bad, I cone it up, and that helps. I probably put it off. I probably put it on there off center. There we go. Now it's behaving a little better. Let's cone it up a couple times and condition it a little bit better. Make sure you don't come down and flatten it out if you're going to cone it up, because then you'll end up with a volcano hole in the top, and you don't want that either. See, like if I start to get one, I just close that in like that. I don't want that. Okay. And then you just hold it and just slowly release. Like I said, I have to get rid of that apron there. I don't like that. Some people do, but okay, I'm going to open it up. Go back down to medium speed. to check the floor thickness. Yep, that's about perfect. I'm going to pull my walls out. Whoops, let me get my foot on the foot pedal. Sometimes throw it off round when I'm pulling out big pieces of clay. I don't know why. Might be because I let it dry out, or I'm in too much of a hurry. So then I have to kind of collar back in a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull it up. Now I'm going to remember to dig my finger in down here a little bit so I don't have that thick spot, that heavy base. I did not get that centered back, did I? It's a little better. Something's kind of wonky, isn't it? Let's see. Can't tell if it's the top. Just not behaving very well. Okay, let's pull another wall up here. Do another pull. I'm going to stop, let it settle down, and then slowly release. Now I'm going to get this clay slip off of the pot. Hope you guys are doing good today. I'll tell you, I was sitting out in the sun for a little bit, and just being out there for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, it just makes you so happy to be in the sun. We hardly see it here in Cincinnati in the winter. Just feels so good on your skin and your face. Suck up some vitamin D. Okay, so I think I've got the walls thin enough. So let's put some sodium silicate on there. Get the gook off my hands. The gookie. But whenever I'm sitting out in the sun and just, the sunshine just makes you so happy, I, try to store that memory of sunny days and happiness stored in my brain for when it's cold and rainy, or, because all our days aren't going to be happy and sunny. Sometimes they're not. So you have to remember the happy days to take care of the sad days, right? Okay, so let's get my sodium silicate out here, and I'm going to get a lot of my brush here. I know a lot of it will run off. You really don't want too stiff of a brush. This brush might be a little bit stiff. You could actually dry this and put another coat on if you wanted to, but I'm not gonna do that. I don't want huge cracks anyway. Use up what I have in my jar here. Just gently press. Don't press so hard that you're wiping it back off. Okay. Okay. Heat gun out. Oh gosh, my heat gun. That was stupid, Lisa. I laid my heat gun down and back in the box, and it melted the plastic that I laid it on. That's what I get for not paying attention, right? Oh well, it's probably gonna burn and stink, but I don't think it'll hurt anything. Oh well. Okay, so let's try to time it. It's about 30. Okay, so 7. Okay, I'm gonna try to time it a little bit and see how long it takes. Of course, it depends on, how hot your heat gun is. I think a blow dryer would work just as well. You just have to be careful not to put it too close that it, blew the sodium silicate off your pot, made indentations where it, where it was strong. So we've had it on for 1 minute already. You want your wheel going because you don't want to hold it in one place and dry out your clay in one place. You want it to be nice and evenly dry. Okay, I'll wait till I get to the 2-minute mark and then I'll check it. Okay, so it's been 2 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go another minute. I want the cracks to be a little more prevalent this time around. And you can smell, you can kind of tell too when it gets dry because it starts smelling. It smells like, something's burning. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to set that down where it won't. Okay, so I think this is a little bit drier than the last one. So this should work. The crack should be a little bit more prevalent. Okay, so Try not to touch the outside. I'm gonna try to just push out a little bit more. Okay, that's oh yeah, we got some nice cracks. Never thought you'd say that with pottery, did you? That's like a bad word when you're talking about pottery. It's cracks. So I'm going to smooth out the inside. I'm rinsing out my bowl here, so it doesn't dry inside there. I'm looking for my little rib that's kind of round on the bottom here. This nice little one here. And I'm just gonna kind of even out the sides here a little bit. My fingers left a little bit of an indentation in there. This wooden rib is my favorite. It's got this rounded edge here for the inside of the bowls, and they're kind of hard to find. The new ones have a sharp edge there. There we go. I think that's better. I'm going to put that little detail in there. Let's see. I'll pull this off and show this to you guys. Next, I have to paint some doodle bowls. So you guys will be all these videos, huh? And I got an idea for a taco holder. So I gotta do that one too. Don't you hate when your tacos fall over and all your stuff falls out? I've seen some that people have made, but I really don't like those. So I have a different idea. Okay, I'm gonna wipe my hands off here, and I'll show you that bowl. Oh, I got some water down in there. Let me get this water out. Do not leave water in the bottom of your bowls. Okay. There we go. Lately I've been spinning the wheel as I wire my bowls off because I do think it helps stop S-cracks. Especially if you have a wide base. So there you go. Oh, I forgot to clean the bottom off again. Oh well. So there you go. That is what sodium silicate does on the side of a bowl. And again, this is what I use is Pasler ceramics. So if you like that, get yourself a bottle. Here we go. Yeah, thanks for watching. It's good chatting with you guys. Look at my hair. Usually when I'm done, I have clay all over me. I don't know how people throw and they stay so clean. Because when I'm done throwing, usually, I got it on my bib here. I usually have it on my glasses. But anyway, thanks for watching. And if you like the channel, please subscribe. And you'll see all the new ones coming out when I throw a new one, when I put a new one up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them, and I will do my best to answer all of them. If I miss one, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's probably because I just missed it. So anyway, I have to go get painting some doodle bowls. So I will see you later. Have a great weekend.